Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about something that's been making a lot of noise in the dating world. You've probably heard all kinds of advice about relationships, but let's get real for a second. There are certain things a woman could say that should raise an immediate red flag. And I'm not talking about those small quirks that we all have, but some serious statements that could signal trouble down the road. So, if she tells you these 5 things, my advice is simple: walk away. Let's break it down. Alright, first on the list, and probably the most common one you'll hear: I'm not looking for anything serious. Now, I know some of you might think, hey, maybe she's just having fun. And sure, that's totally okay for some people. But if you're someone who's looking for something more substantial, this is a red flag. If she says she's not looking for anything serious, it doesn't always mean she's not into you. It might just mean that she doesn't value long-term commitments right now. Look, I'm not here to judge what anyone wants, but you deserve someone who shares your goals and vision. If you're in it for the long haul and she's just looking to keep things casual, then you're likely heading toward disappointment. Don't waste your time on a relationship that's going nowhere. Next up, I don't need anyone. Now this one sounds a bit strong, doesn't it? Sure, it's important to be independent and have a sense of self, but when someone says they don't need anyone, it can be a sign of emotional walls that are too high. Relationships are about balance, sharing your life, your emotions, and supporting each other. But if someone is unwilling to be vulnerable or let anyone into their world, you may end up feeling like you're always on the outside. Being independent is great, but in a relationship, being emotionally available is what really matters. So if you're trying to build something meaningful and she keeps reinforcing that she doesn't need anyone, it might be a sign she's not ready for that level of intimacy or connection. Here's another one: I'm not like other women. Now let me just say, if someone has to constantly remind you that they're different, it might be worth questioning why. First off, we're all unique in our own ways. But there's this idea floating around that being different means somehow being superior or less complicated than other women. And you know what? That's just not true. Every person comes with their own set of challenges and qualities that make them who they are. If someone says this early on, it can be a warning sign of unrealistic expectations. This kind of statement often signals someone who is still trying to figure out who they are, and they might even use it to avoid taking responsibility for certain behaviors. Relationships thrive on mutual respect and understanding, not on placing yourself on a pedestal or comparing your partner to others. So if you hear this, don't take it lightly. All right, moving on to the 4th one: I have trust issues. Now this is a tricky one. A lot of people have been hurt in the past, and it's totally understandable to have some trust issues. But if a woman flat out tells you this, you need to think twice. Trust issues can deeply affect a relationship, and if someone isn't actively working on healing or addressing them, they can create major obstacles in your connection. Trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship. Without it, everything starts to crumble. So if she openly admits she has trust issues and doesn't seem open to working on them, you might find yourself stuck in a relationship filled with constant suspicion, doubts, and drama. No one has time for that kind of emotional roller coaster. And finally, the last thing that should make you pause: I don't believe in marriage. Now, marriage is not for everyone, and that's totally fine. Some people just don't want to get married, and that's a personal choice. However, if someone says they don't believe in marriage without any context, it could suggest a deeper issue. Maybe they've been hurt in the past. Maybe they're afraid of commitment, or maybe they just haven't given it much thought. Either way, it's important to understand what they mean by this statement. If you're someone who values marriage, and it's something that's important to you, this could create a serious clash down the line. You don't want to invest your time and energy into someone who has fundamentally different views on something as important as marriage, especially if it's a goal of yours. So, there you have it, 5 things a woman might say that should make you reconsider your relationship. Remember, communication is key in any relationship, and if you're not on the same page from the start, it can lead to a lot of unnecessary heartache. Of course, this isn't to say that every woman who says these things is a bad person. Sometimes it's just a matter of timing, or perhaps they're still figuring things out themselves. But if you're looking for a relationship built on trust, respect, and long-term goals, then you need to be with someone who shares those same values. Don't settle for less than what you deserve. You deserve a relationship that makes you feel supported, valued, and loved. So next time you hear one of these phrases, take a step back and ask yourself, is this really what I want? Because at the end of the day, you deserve the best. Thanks for tuning in today. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell for more content like this. Until next time, stay true to yourself.